हेलो हेलो हेलो, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून, गुड इवनिंग, जहां जहां भी आप हो इस महान दुनिया में, जहां भी आप हो, आप मेरे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं एक बार फिर से इस लाइव स्ट्रीम पर ऑन द चैनल कॉल क्रिकेट विद जेमी, ब्रॉट यू बाय डैफन न्यूज. I've got my coffee, I've got cricket on my mind, I've got all you lovely people here to join me on today's live stream. Well, another लॉस फॉर आरसीबी कल बेंगलुरु में. और ये दोस्तों 9 मैच के बाद, यानी कि कल से पहले जो 9 मैच हुए थे इस आईपीएल सीजन में, 9 के 9 मैच जो विजेता टीम थी वो घरेलू टीम थी, यानी कि घर पे खेलने वाली टीम थी. 9 मैच के बाद जो 10वां मैच था आईपीएल 2024 में, वो पहली बार इस सीजन बाहर से आई हुई टीम जीती, यानी कि KKR beat RCB to become the first team in this IPL season to go and win a match in the other team's den. Should we be surprised that the defeat came at the Chinnaswamy and the losing team was RCB, who perhaps, जैसे कि हमने कई पहले लाइव स्ट्रीम्स में डिस्कस किया है, do not really have any home advantage to speak of, क्योंकि इनकी बॉलिंग इतनी इतनी एवरेज है. इनकी बॉलिंग, इनकी बैटिंग इतनी निर्भर है एक व्यक्ति पर, विराट कोहली पर. ओवरसीज बैट्समैन नहीं चल रहे हैं, बॉलिंग काफी खराब है. ये वो टीम है जो पिछले सीजन घर पे 200, 210, 215 बनाकर फिर भी मैच नहीं जीत सकी. और कल के मैच में एक समय पर दोस्तों लग रहा था कि जिस तरह की बैटिंग विराट कोहली कर रहे थे, और जो बैटिंग डेप्थ पीछे है, अनुज रावत, Glenn Maxwell, Dinesh Karthik, Mahipal Lomro, perhaps even. I thought maybe no, this team should get 200, but in the end, only 182. Hats off to KKR, especially Andre Russell, bowling those cutters. Had three very, very economical overs. Final over went for runs, but I think KKR really reduced 25, 30 runs by keeping RCB to 182, 183. Despite that, another fantastic innings from Virat Kohli. और उसके बाद दोस्तों उसी चिन्नस्वामी विकेट के ऊपर जो फाफ डुप्लेसी आरसीबी कप्तान ने कहा, उनको थोड़ा टू पेस्ट लगा, पता नहीं उनको कैसे वो पिच टू पेस्ट लगा. ओपनर्स ने सुनील नारायण और फिल सॉल्ट ने 6-7, 6.5 ओवर के अंदर तकरीबन 80-82 रन लगाए. आई मीन इट जस्ट शोज the intent that Sunil Narine and Phil Salt had. Halanki, I still don't think opening with Sunil Narine is a very viable option for KKR. It worked yesterday, but the way that Phil Salt and then Sunil Narine just waded into Bangalore's bowling, I mean, you compare that with the start that RCB got. Surely RCB could have got another 18, 20 runs more in the power play with more intent from Faf du Plessis. Uske baad, Venkatesh Iyer, 3 पे आकर 50, Shreyas Iyer, a handy 39 not out. 19 गेंदे बाकी थी, if I'm not wrong. हाँ, तकरीबन 19 गेंदे, 3 ओवर बचे थे, और केकेआर ने 100 क्या 182 का टारगेट बड़े आराम से पार किया. Just underlines how poor RCB's bowling is. I think of all the 10 teams, they're probably ninth best. The worst right now is Delhi Capitals, given the fact that no overseas batsman is supporting Virat Kohli, given the fact that the bowling is being laid bare. I mean, this is just a very, very poor bowling attack. To my mind, out of 10 teams, RCB right now are ninth best, with only Delhi Capitals um, worse than them right now. Of course, their fans will say, Koi baat nahi, but there's a reason why ये team 16 साल में ट्रॉफी नहीं जीत पाई. कल मैं एक मीम देख रहा था, एक इंस्टाग्राम रील, काफी काफी दिन हो गए इस बात को, वो रील पोस्ट हुआ था. एडम गिलक्रिस्ट और माइकल वॉन उस पॉडकास्ट में है, और माइकल वॉन बताते हैं कि विराट कोहली के पास 7,300 कुछ रन हैं आरसीबी के लिए. और वो पूछते हैं माइकल वॉन से कि क्या आप जानते हैं कि विराट कोहली के 7,500 तकरीबन रन के बाद who has the next most runs for RCB by an Indian batsman? And the answer was Rahul Dravid with 828 runs. That just says कि 16 साल में एक भी इंडियन बल्लेबाज, चाहे कैप्ड हो या अनकैप्ड हो, उन्होंने विराट कोहली को सपोर्ट नहीं किया था. कब तक ये टीम विराट कोहली के कंधों पे प्लेऑफ्स रेस में रहेगी? It's shocking how Faf du Plessis, Cam Green, what a disaster. Glenn Maxwell, another walking wicket. No one is supporting Virat Kohli. Look how good Virat Kohli took. 83 yesterday, 77 the other day. Strike rate's improving. He's playing far more lofted shots. He's making a conscious attempt to, score faster. Spinners को छक्के लगा रहे. क्या मतलब इससे बड़ी तारीफ क्या करें कि विराट कोहली जैसे प्लेयर स्पिनर्स को आके आगे मार रहे हैं. मिचेल स्टार्क को क्या धोया. Now that's a problem for KKR, by the way. But when will RCB's overseas batsmen support this man called Virat Kohli? Bowling के तो खैर छोड़ो, पहले भी कह चुका हूं, यदि ग्लेन मैक्सवेल और मयंक डागर आपके फ्रंट लाइन स्पिनर्स हो, तो भैया जय माता दी, आपसे ट्रॉफी तो नहीं जीता जाएगा. But overall, too many problems in that RCB camp. By the way, did you notice it was drinks break the way Gambhir walked out so sternly, and that very fake interaction that he had with Virat Kohli. मतलब सबको पता है कैमरा उन पे हैं, इनके बीच there's no love lost. सुनील गावस्कर साहब ने कहा था कि they should be given an Oscar, and I was laughing. हालांकि मैं सुनता नहीं हूँ cricket commentary पर, but over this morning when I was having my morning coffee, I was looking at social media. और लोग कह रहे थे कि सुनील गावस्कर ने कहा कि इन दोनों को ऑस्कर मिलना चाहिए. A nice little juicy subplot to the overall contest, or rather lack of contest, क्योंकि भाई मेरे ख्याल से 9-10 साल हुए थे कि आरसीबी ने घर पर केकेआर को नहीं हराया, और कल अगेन वही है. So overall, hats off to KKR, barring the Mitchell Stark issue, which I don't know how many people are going to address, because that's a lot of money, 24.75 crores, and the guy is going at what, like over 12 per over without a wicket. That's the only real problem I think KKR have right now. They're now 2 for 2. RCB are 1 for 2. So early days, but I think we can all agree कि कहीं ना कहीं RCB के playoff chance मुझे फिलहाल खराब लग रहे हैं, given the fact that no one is supporting Virat Kohli, and the bowling is just so bare. Anyways, बहुत सारे सवाल आए हैं, धीरे let's go. Killer Knight, hello sir, how are you? श्रेया जयमा इंडिया की बहुत वीक है टी20 में, और पुराने खिलाड़ी आज भी आकर बोल रहा है आशीष गौरव, तो नेक्स्ट जेन के ऊपर कैसे बैट्समैन होगा. बहुत शोज कर चुके हैं. I still say, despite how good Virat Kohli is looking, still somewhat of a liability at the T20 World Cup. Khari, you know my views on why these senior players shouldn't go. I'm not going to repeat myself. Subodh कह रहे कोहली T20 के लिए advertisement है और इनको वर्ल्ड कप खेलना और बड़ी बात करते हैं. I still got it, I guess. My question is he relevant in this format? He's relevant for RCB fans, because I think RCB fans only watch that franchise for Virat Kohli. I mean, let's just be, I mean, please, if you think I'm wrong, why would you watch RCB? Is there any player apart from Virat Kohli which would make you watch that utterly faltu franchise? Maafi chahunga, but there's nothing in that franchise beyond Virat Kohli, and he's done such magnificent things as a batsman individually. But when there's never been support for him, barring Gale and De Villiers, when the Indian core has always been poor for 16 years, when the bowling has been so poor, God knows why they let Chahal go. What a blunder. Why would anyone support this team if it did not have Virat Kohli in it? So yes, he's very relevant. He's still scoring runs, and you know how critical I've been of Virat Kohli's strike rate. But इस IPL में कॉन्शियसली बंदा कोशिश कर रहा है स्ट्राइक रेट इंप्रूव करने के लिए. मैं एक आर्टिकल पढ़ा था आज सुबह. There's a marked difference in the percentage of shots he's hitting in the air. और मुझे कोई शक नहीं है कि सिलेक्टर्स ने कहा होगा उनसे कि भाई यदि आपको वर्ल्ड कप खेलना है थोड़ा अग्रेसिव खेलो. So I think this is good for Indian cricket. I still don't believe that taking Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul and Hardik Pandya to the World Cup is going to really increase your chances. But yes, I would still say that Virat Kohli is relevant in the T20 format. Perhaps not so in the T20I format, given the slow pitches in the West Indies. But if he's batting like this, it's going to be impossible to not take him. At least koi to Indian player run mar raha hai. Of all the other Indian batsmen going to the World Cup, barring Virat Kohli, no one has really got the score. So hats off to Virat Kohli for that. How you summarize Virat Kohli's innings? Should he be considered? I think I just answered the question right now. Sunil Narine को ओपनर बनने की इच्छा तब नहीं हुई जब वैसे के लिए किया था. निमेश, ये बहुत बार कह चुका हूं जब से आईपीएल शुरू हुआ. मुझे लगता नहीं है कि सुनील नारायण से 2024 में ओपनिंग करके आपको कुछ ज्यादा हासिल होगा. बिकॉज आई वाज सीइंग कल से पहले उनके पिछले 7 पारी में जब उन्होंने ओपनिंग किया काफी समय के बाद इनके 3 डक हैं. कल वो चल गए. बहुत लोग कहेंगे कि ओवर अचीव. I just don't think opening with Sunil Narine is a long-term strategy in this IPL. It's probably going to fail more than it'll click. जब तक फाफ और मैक्सी फॉर्म नहीं आएंगे आज भी कुछ नहीं हो सकता. पर फिर भी ये दोनों फॉर्म में आए तो do they have the bowling? मतलब ये टीम, इस टीम को, यदि इस टीम को चिन्नास्वामी में हर मैच जीतना है इस बॉलिंग के साथ, मेरे हिसाब से इनको 270 हर मैच में मारने पड़ेंगे. This bowling attack will not be able to defend 225, 230, 235 on a consistent basis. It is one of the worst bowling attacks after Delhi Capitals in this IPL. I think Punjab are coming close to that. If RCB want to win at home, बाहर की छोड़ो, चिन्नास्वामी में इनको मैच जीतना है, 270 इनको हर मैच में लगाने पड़ेंगे. Good morning, Sushant. What a poor team RCB is, even after so many failures. I mean, माफी चाहूंगा यहाँ पे अगर कोई RCB fan हो. I'm trying to say it politely. I just cannot take that franchise seriously. I cannot. I'm really really sorry. अगर आईपीएल इंग्लिश फुटबॉल की तरह डिवीजन बेस होता तो आरसीबी आईपीएल में दिखता ही नहीं. सही बात है निमेश. रविशंकर, how can anyone defend this inning? This is the new trend. Sorry, but defend Kohli. I don't know who's defending Virat Kohli. But yeah, if you can share some names. If VK plays today or we lose, then they're putting blame on other bowlers. Bilkul, Virat Kohli's strike rate has been a problem, but in this IPL, at least in the last two innings, the strike rate has improved. There's no denying that Virat Kohli is trying to score more runs. The point is, when Glenn Maxwell is not crossing 15 runs, when Cameron Green is not crossing 3 runs, when Faf du Plessis is not crossing 10 runs, and the Indian core is not doing a job, and Virat Kohli is getting you 77 at a strike rate of 145, Kalki Pari 140, it's you still cannot be harsh on him given the fact that no other batsman is getting to 15 or 20. So I still think Virat Kohli's batting right now, it's better than what we saw in the last couple of years. Last year he got a lot more runs, but the strike rate was a problem. So, but again, Ravi Shankar, are you trying to see Virat Kohli through the lens of an RCB player or a T20 World Cup player? RCB. I'll have to put that filter back to 3 minutes. Comments come too quickly. So I've lost all the comments. Okay. Sorry, आरसीबी नहीं जीती 16 साल से. इसमें सिर्फ बोरिंग रीजन नहीं है, कोहली की 2 बारियां भी थी. He's not a match winner. नहीं, I think Virat Kohli is the last person you can point fingers to of why RCB hasn't won in terms of his runs, in terms of his role in selecting teams at auctions. I think that's where Virat Kohli needs to be held more accountable. मैं ये नहीं मानता कि विश्व के सबसे बड़े प्लेयर इस जनरेशन के जिन्होंने 10 साल से आरसीबी की कप्तानी करी, उनका कोई हाथ नहीं था खराब टीम सेलेक्ट करने में. I'm not going to single out Virat Kohli's batting. For Indian batsmen, he's been the best by a long shot, better than Rohit Sharma, better than Dinesh Karthik, better than KL Rahul. He's been the most successful of the big Indian batsmen. So I'm not going to blame RCB's lack of a trophy on Virat Kohli's batting. What I'm going to blame is Virat Kohli, the captain, very poor IPL captain, Virat Kohli, the selector, and just the terrible bowling they've had for 16 years. This is what happens when you buy Alzai Joseph for 11 crore. Exactly. You're telling me Virat Kohli, with the status he owns, this franchise, RCB, only runs because of Virat Kohli. Do you think he has no say in selecting players? You're living in a fool's paradise if you think कि विराट कोहली का हाथ नहीं है अल्जारी जोसेफ का 11 करोड़ में जाने के लिए. जय भाई, आप गलत हो कि कोई और इंडियन प्लेयर को सपोर्ट नहीं करता. बीके ने किसी और को चांस नहीं दिया तो वो 10 ओवर खुद खेलता है. हाँ, पर उसके बाद जो आते हैं अनुज रावत, दिनेश कार्तिक, गोइंग बैक टू ऑल द प्लेयर्स, they had Devdutt Padikkal looked like the best Indian player after Dravid who could support him. They let him go. RCB trophy इसलिए नहीं जीती क्योंकि इनकी सोच और सिलेक्शन सबसे बड़ी बात है. I'm not going to blame Virat Kohli, the batsman, for RCB's failure. How can RCB bowling be consistently bad? It's because of Virat Kohli and the people who he influences to pick these teams, right? Are you telling me, can anyone on this live stream, if you watch enough cricket, tell me that a superstar, the biggest cricketer of this era, bigger than Dhoni, has no say in what bowlers RCB picked in the 10 years he was captain? कायल जेमिसन, कितनी बार मैंने आपको वो एग्जांपल दिया. कायल जेमिसन ने न्यूजीलैंड के सीरीज में 2 बार विराट कोहली का विकेट लिया. विराट कोहली insisted that they buy him and they paid some 15 crores for him. बंदा एक सीजन खेला, पिटा और उसको छोड़ने दिया. आरसीबी की फेलियर के पीछे विराट कोहली की सोच एक बहुत बड़ी फैक्टर है, उनकी बल्लेबाजी नहीं. कल केकेआर ने स्लो बॉलर्स का बहुत अच्छा उपयोग किया एक्सेप्ट स्टार्क. बिल्कुल, रसल, राणा, फैंटास्टिक. RCB bowlers kept banging in short, but can you expect anything else from this kind of bowling? I mean, बताओ यार. RCB सारे इंडियंस को एक दिन के बाद ड्रॉप कर देती हैं तो कौन रन बनाएगा? बिल्कुल, सिलेक्शन. Understand when I put the focus on RCB selection more than on-field performances. Can anyone do a one-on-one session on global? Oh, मैंने बहुत shows किया है. I am against the globalization of cricket. Let cricket exist between 10 teams. We're far better off. I am anti. मैंने एक इंटरव्यू दिया था अल जजीरा वेबसाइट को a few months ago, last year before the World Cup, saying, do not globalize cricket, do not take it to the Olympics. Disaster. जोसेफ की जगह आकाशदीप को भी खिला लेते. जैक्स for Joseph will at least make batting dangerous. बिल्कुल. Someone told me yesterday, यार, how will you play Will Jacks? That means you have to drop a bowler. इनके bowlers क्या कर रहे हैं? I would much rather have Will Jacks. He can bowl you off spin and RCB need to score more runs to win. They have to play more batsmen who can hit boundaries ताकि टीम का score बढ़ जाए. I'm all for Joseph. They don't need any more fast bowlers. I would much rather play Will Jacks. Boost your chances of scoring more runs because आपकी bowling से वैसे नहीं कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. कोहली को पिच पढ़ना नहीं आता है. बिल्कुल, ये तो मैं पिछले 5 साल से कह रहा हूँ. Look at the WTC final. Look at the World Cup of 19. It's a big problem with Virat Kohli. Maxwell, Green, and Dinesh Karthik criteria was good than Virat Kohli. Yeah, but how many runs did Cameron Green get? 15. How many runs did Maxwell get? Not many. Virat Kohli got what? He got. Let's just check. He got 83 runs at a strike rate of. क्या था विराट कोहली का स्ट्राइक रेट कल? 83 at a strike rate of 140. I mean, given the fact, okay, Cameron Green got 33, but 33s and 28s at strike rate of 1. Okay, Maxwell got 28 at a strike rate of 147. Are you putting that higher than Virat Kohli's 83 at 141? 6 points between the strike rate, but about 55, 60 runs in the run difference. Patidar 3, Rawat 3, Dinesh Karthik 8. इनका इंडिया कॉर बहुत वीक है. I would drop Glenn Maxwell. I would tell Faf du Plessis, भाई आपके पास 3-4 मैच हैं. रिकी पॉन्टिंग एक बार बीच सीजन हमने ड्रॉप किया था मुंबई इंडियंस ने, हम आपको ड्रॉप करेंगे. Play Will Jacks. Faf du Plessis at 40 despite the fitness. Cameron Green so confused. Very poor overseas contingent. कल मैक्सवेल ने 2 कैच ड्रॉप होने के बाद ये लोग 180 पहुंच नहीं तो 150 में निपट जाते. बिल्कुल ये भी है. Very poor team. Virat Kohli took and friendships, be it Gale, everybody Watson, he's the main reason. I get the strike rate. I get the strike rate issue. I've been very critical for that. But again, you can't really single out one man when he's been scoring the bulk of runs. I mean, Chris Gale did some wonderful things. They still couldn't win the title. De Villiers, I mean, they had De Villiers. They had all these great players. So it's something in the thinking, the approach RCB has to T20 cricket. RCBians heartbroken. I think the hearts would have broken 15 years ago when the franchise was made. RCB is not a team, it's a social experiment to see how much pain a fan can bear. सही है. Ashutosh कह रहे हैं, Patidar honestly been hyped up too much for one good innings. I think I have to agree with you. Lomror could be better. Topley should be in place of Joseph or full Indian bowling attack. Yash out, Akash and Vishak should be in. Well, Yash Dayal boring yesterday was good in the first 2 matches. I'm saying ये Joseph को हटा दो यार. Play Will Jack. Pranav कह रहे हैं, RCB never backed domestic Indian talent. That's very true. Yep, I gave the Dravid example. Ujjwal Virat Kohli 26 in 15 and 4 overs, lost 1 wicket. Then 43 of 34, 17 of next 90 balls at 11 overs, 872. Where was the pressure? He didn't slow down because of wickets. He didn't slow down, and I get it. But when maybe he knew that bhai inka din nahi hai, you know. I'm saying, are we going to single out a guy who's batted predominantly through the innings when nobody else has crossed 30 runs? I get it. The strike rate, of course, Virat Kohli's strike rate should be a minimum 150 hona chahiye. But on a track where Russell is taking pace off the ball, where the spinners, I mean, look, Sunil Narine ko bahut maar padi kal Virat Kohli ke balle se. He went for 40 runs. So yes, I understand Virat Kohli's strike rate was not optimum, but for a guy who normally scores at 125, 128, he got it up to 141. So let's acknowledge the fact that it's a better version of Virat Kohli than we've seen for many years. RCB को एक क्रिकेट डायरेक्टर रखना चाहिए और उसे फ्री हैंड देना चाहिए. दोस्त निमेश, ये पॉसिबल नहीं है जब तक विराट कोहली है. विराट कोहली इतने बड़े सुपरस्टार हैं कि उनको कोई समझा नहीं पाएगा. तो इट्स नॉट द इंडियन वेयर देयर इज अ राहुल द्रविड़ और अ शास्त्री और अ धोनी. ये फ्रेंचाइज क्रिकेट है. ये एक प्राइवेट club tournament hai, run by corporates, and no corporate is going to be able to tell Virat Kohli what to do. I understand कि आप क्या कह रहे हो, लेकिन जब तक विराट कोहली है, it'll always be a problem. Do you have any info from your sources of what's going on in Mumbai Indians camp? Is it true there are 2 groups? I have heard it's being split down the middle. It's just obviously Rohit Sharma has far more clout, far more stature inside the dressing room, and it's very obvious how two factions would have been formed, because very few are happy, barring Ishan Kishan, that Hardik Pandya has come back. So I'm hearing it's not very good. Keeping RCB bowling in hand, they should make 25 runs extra in every match. It is that simple actually. वीके ने कल 60 बॉल्स खेला है. जब ये अकेला आधा ओवर्स खेलता है तो कोई और के बारे में कभी बात नहीं होगी। ये सेम चीज सचिन के टाइम में हुआ था। ठीक है, there's nothing wrong in Virat Kohli strike rate because of bowling, and he's always a lone warrior in RCB. He is a lone warrior. Despite Gale, despite De Villiers, he was the lone warrior. But yes, the strike rate leaves a lot to be required. But I'm saying last year, or खासकर 22 के बाद, there is at least in 3 innings an effort to score more quickly. And I believe it's because he's been told categorically, World Cup खेलना है, strike rate को बेहतर करो. So nothing wrong with that. RCB as best team in 2016. Stark considered only 1-6 in that season. Reason was due factor in that 6. Possible. RCB didn't lost the match bowling, lost the match at the bat. They did underachieve, but like I've been saying, if they want to beat teams at home, they're going to have to put up 270. Way Virat is playing, it's about luck. He's giving a lot of chances. Jab luck nahi rahega, to problem hogi. It may haunt us in knockouts. When you say us, I am assuming you're an RCB fan. My commiserations to you. Ravi Shankar, RCB should thank Dinesh Karthik for taking score to 180 plus. Correct, but if you're still dependent on Dinesh Karthik in 2024 when he's like 37, it goes back to my bigger picture. It's not about Kohli, the batting, not about DK, the batting. It's about the team that they've selected. How is Dinesh Karthik still playing for RCB, and how is he still being depended on? It's a RCB will not win the trophy because they have an outdated selection approach. JMI since 2008 RCB की बस एक ही प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, वो है ढंग का बॉलिंग. हाँ, ये सब जानते हैं, कोई नई बात बोलो यार. VK should avoid KL Rahul syndrome. Don't take the pressure of it, not me, then who will score. He should have ended with another 25 runs on this pitch, but doesn't trust his 5, 6, number 7, so played cautious. I think that's a very apt way to summarize it. You know, he knew कि भाई the next highest score was 50 runs behind him. You know, Cameron Green had a great chance to finally show RCB fans what he can do, but he played a loose shot to a poor ball. That ball was on the pads. A ball from Russell hit his pads and hit middle and off. So I think with each passing wicket, you saw it on Virat Kohli's face. Yaar, koi to tik jao. That's why I'm saying, when will Virat Kohli get the support? Maybe if he knows I'm going to get 25, 30 runs from every player, maybe he'll start to play a bit freer. But every time he starts to play freer, he sees Glenn Maxwell play a moronic shot and get out. All said and done, Rawat, Lomror, Karthik ne ek match mein ek achhi pari kheli. But everyone knows, heart of hearts, कि आप कार्तिक, लोमरोर, सुयाश प्रभु देसाई और अनुज रावत से ज्यादा मैचेस नहीं जीत पाओगे. आप जो आपकी सोच है, जो आपकी सिलेक्शन है, आप कोहली, मैक्सवेल, ग्रीन और डुप्लेसी के चलते ज्यादा मैच जीतेंगे. So it's a bit harsh to criticize Virat Kohli for a strike rate of 141 and saying that, you know, he could have scored 35, 40 more runs when wickets kept falling. What if Virat Kohli had kept hitting and gotten out? Sab kehte, oh bhai, ye nahi hua, wo nahi hua. I'm talking about sub, meaning RCB fans, not you and me. But again, I'm the most vocal critic of Virat Kohli's strike rate, but he's made a conscious effort to improve it from the 130, 132 mark to 141. So let's acknowledge that. Virat Kohli is old school type player. Ek had tak, haan. There's an image circulating that Rohit and Akash Ambani arguing. I think we'll talk about Mumbai Indians when they play. We're talking about RCB today. Sunil Gavaskar also said in favor of Virat Kohli, how long Virat Kohli will score alone, and I agree. Sahi baat hai. I looked like RCB was just playing to T20 and KKR played modern. बिल्कुल सोच मैं वही कह रहा हूँ. RCB की सोच खराब है. तो जो भी विराट कोहली को आउट करेगा वो RCB में सेलेक्ट हो जाएगा. तो वेलागाई को क्यों सेलेक्ट नहीं किया? पता नहीं. Good point. Anyone who has played more than 6 deliveries in this match had a higher strike than Kohli. And that's the reason RCB lost, not ground dimensions of the pitch. No, the ground dimensions pitch have nothing to do with it. It's the approach. So overall, the collective approach and how well, especially Andre Russell, pulled things back. They were on target for 200, 205, but the wickets kept falling. Virat Kohli could not dominate the way he wanted to, and that's it. But again, even if they gotten to 230, RCB's bowling is so bad. KKR would have chased 230 aram se. The bowling is a bigger problem for RCB. Virat Kohli in last 16 balls scored only 21 runs. People are blaming Bowles lose the match. 193 is a power score on RCB ground. No, it's actually 198. But given the fact that RCB's bowling is so bad, like I said, they need to score. Last season, 3 times they crossed 230 and not once did they defend it. The bowling is the bigger problem. The problem with the batting is that Maxwell, Green, and Duplessis are not supporting them. Duplessis was so good last season. He's been an utter disaster this season. He's not getting past the power play. Glenn Maxwell is not scoring more than 15, 18 runs. This is forcing Virat Kohli to try and score a little faster. But when he does, wickets keep falling. And I agree with you. If he scored 21 in his last 16 balls, that's a big problem. We saw this last year. We saw this in the One Day World Cup. He does slow down as milestones approach. But I'll say it again: if RCB want to win at home, they're going to have to score 270 every match because their bowling is very, very bad. Which one impressed you more, Vijay Kumar, Vishak, or Yash Dayal? Yash Dayal, given the fact that what he went through after the Rinku Singh episode, Kal he was a bit off kilter, but the last two matches he was good. Shocking to see the media nexus built around RCB and Kohli as when they underperformed. Still says slow pitch king, yada yada. That's why I cannot take RCB seriously. It's all a PR. It's all a PR based franchise. Siraj is so erratic. Will not be shocked if RCB don't retain in the future. Because and I'm also worried about Siraj. Like I said a couple of days ago, Siraj going to the World Cup. हर्षित राणा कल भी अच्छा खेला. उसका अगर आईपीएल अच्छा गया तो क्या टी20 वर्ल्ड कप के लिए सेट होगा? सिराज मुश्किल है. He'll need a lot more matches to prove himself. पहले आरसीबी की टीम प्लेऑफ जाने लायक लगती, इस बार तो वो भी नहीं लगती. हाँ, लाइक आई सेड, मेरे हिसाब से 10 में से वो 9th होगी on current form. Letting go of DDP, QDK, Hetmeyer, Chahal, their patience, huge around with good players, and now backing average players like Pathan Yastayal. Answer me the question: when you say, whose call is it? बताइए. You think it's Faf Duplessis? You think it's a coaching staff? सोचिए किसका हाथ होगा इसके पीछे? MI versus R will be a good match in Wankhede. It should. I don't care what people say about Hardik. Again, we're not talking about Hardik. We're talking about RCB and Virat Kohli. With batting like this, we will see 190 for 0 chase like England did in 2007. Okay. RCB won one match because of Lomro and Karthik. If DK and Lomro were not for the runs, Punjab, RCB would have lost the match. Exactly what I said. They've each given 1-1 contribution, but they're not players you can rely on throughout the season. Rawat might give you 3 good innings out of 14. DK will probably give you 4 out of 14. The Indian core is one of the weakest. I think the weakest after Delhi Capitals. How much factor is Gautam Gambhir KKR mentor for me? He have genius cricket brain. He does, but I haven't seen much of Gautam Gambhir's hand in this. Yes, opening with Narine, what worked for you in 16, 17, I don't see it working. Kal chal gaya, but it was again against one of the worst bowling attacks on one of the flattest grounds in the tournament. So if Gautam Gambhir believes that Sunil Narine opening as a pinch hitter will win KKR the trophy, I will say it's not going to work very often. Beyond that, how much of what we've seen in KKR's 2 wins can be attributed to Gautam Gambhir? I don't see much of it. But it's good to have him around, of course. I think RCB is losing at the cost of retaining brand players. It's PR-based franchise. Absolutely, entirely. The day Virat Kohli retires in 4 or 5 years, RCB will probably have to shut down very soon. Can we say this is the weakest RCB as Fab 3 is not playing? Not the weakest. I think the first batch was very weak, but yeah, it's not looking good. ग्रीन आपको कैसा बैट्समैन लगता है? बहुत बढ़िया बैट्समैन है, लेकिन आईपीएल में आरसीबी के साथ कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. हर्षित राणा स्लोअर पिच और फास्ट दोनों में अच्छा किया, बहुत अच्छा ठहरा लग रहा है और एक ड्रॉप कैच भी था. आज द आरसीबी फैन. अरे भैया, आप आरसीबी के फैन हो? अच्छा, सॉरी यार. एनीवेज, एज आरसीबी फैन लगता है हमारी टीम चेस करने में काफी सही है, ना कि टारगेट देने में, लाइक द इंडियन टीम. सो ट्राई करना चाहिए कि चेस ही करे, बस हार टॉस कोशिश जो भी करे यार. मुश्किल है यार, इस टीम से हो नहीं पाएगा दोस्त. Yesterday looked like 19 November match where one team struggled to score saying slow pitch and another team looked like they were different. Bilkul, I just said it a few minutes ago. The way that Phil Salt and Sunil Narine batted in the power play, why didn't Faf Duplessis and Virat Kohli do that? Pitch wahi thi bhai. Same group of bowlers were performing for Gujarat. इस बार मैच में RCB अच्छों को की तेल निकल जाता है. सही बात कहा. SRK always gives Gautam Gambhir free hand as captain and coach. Most likely. Why RCB released Chahal Hasaranga? I have no idea. I've called this many shows. I've said, how can their main spinner be Glenn Maxwell, followed by Karan Sharma and Mayank Dagar? They let go of Zampa. They let go of Chahal, the IPL's all-time leading bowler, and they let go of Hasaranga. What could possibly be the thinking? Again, I cannot stress. आप लोग जो मेरे साथ इस लाइव स्ट्रीम पे जुड़े हो, प्लीज 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 भाई की सारी बात मत मानिए, ये बात तो मानिए। आरसीबी की सबसे बड़ी समस्या विराट कोहली का स्ट्राइक रेट नहीं है, ओवरसीज बैटिंग कोर नहीं है, बॉलिंग नहीं है, इनकी सोच, इनकी सिलेक्शन में जो आप प्लेयर्स खरीदते हो, उनको फील्ड पे डालते हो, वो उतनी ही परफॉर्म कर पाएंगे जितना कि टीम का इन्वायरमेंट है। और टीम का इन्वायरमेंट ही इतना खराब है कि आप आईपीएल कैसे जीत पाओगे? यू जस्ट मेंशन, आई एम गोना थ्रो एडम जैम्पा। हाउ डू यू लेट गो of three world-class leg spinners and you expect this team to win with this bowling? आरसीबी की सोच उनकी सबसे बड़ी समस्या है। Most of the teams do not want mega auction apart from RCB. I don't know about that. The way Siraj bowled, it's away for India. Yep, but his last two IPL seasons, he's gone for more than 10 per over. So that's a problem for the World Cup. Phil Salt is so good. Why teams didn't go for him? I don't know, man. I was on a live show on News 18 in their studio on the auction day. Graham Swan, former England spinner, हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं. मैंने पूछा, मैंने कहा, Graham, why has Phil Salt not been taken? He said, I'm shocked. And I'm glad that KKR got him through the back door because he's going to have a big role. Look at his two knocks in two matches so far. Phil Salt is such a, please do collab with the great cricketers. बहुत बार कह चुका हूं, मैं उनका fan नहीं हूं, sorry. It's not VK. One said problem in 2016 that he doesn't know these players in 2 months, a short time in jail. I believe earlier was Vitroy sneaking hole in there, later hasn't, but Bobat looks worse. You can believe that it's all these names, but the bigger picture is something else. I think I've made it very, very clear where I personally think the problem is. These are all just pawns in the bigger picture of the shadow looming of the most influential cricketer of this era. क्या वर्ल्ड कप परफॉर्मेंस इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि मैक्सवेल को मेन स्पिनर बना दिया? आई डोंट गेट द कनेक्शन। उसका कमेंट से क्या कनेक्शन है वर्ल्ड कप से? जय भाई, आपके इस एक्सप्रेशन ने मुझे मेरा पापा का बोर्ड एग्जाम की याद दिला दी। वो भी इस तरह डिसअपॉइंट होते थे रिजल्ट देखकर। मैं भी ऐसे था एक टाइम पर स्कूल में, बट RCB, I mean, like I said, I'm really sorry to any RCB fans here on this live stream. I cannot take that team seriously. श्रेयांश कह रहे हैं, मुझे लग रहा है इस बार आरसीबी को स्लो पिच मिलेगा क्योंकि लेटेस्ट वीके को देख रहा है और अगर वो फेल हुआ तो फैंस को दिखाएगी कि वीके में क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है। सोच अलग है आपकी, बट आई डोंट थिंक सो यार। रविशंकर, हाउ कैन सुनील नारायण ऑलवेज स्कोर विद आरसीबी विद हाईएस्ट स्ट्राइक रेट? आई मुझे याद नहीं है इससे पहले व्हाट ही इज डन। अगेन, it's traditionally been a very, very flat track, one of the best grounds to bat on. Sunil, again, look at the way RCB bowled. I was watching with my wife yesterday. I said, ये बंदा पहले ओवर में या तो बोल्ड होगा या कीपर को कैच देगा या लीडिंग एज देगा, because the moment you pitch the ball full to him, and the first ball he faced, I remember from Siraj, it was very, very accurate. Had he missed it, he would have been bowled. But RCB's pace bowlers bowled so crappily to Sunil Narine. Sunil Narine का गेम है हटो और बॉल को मारो, top edge slap. They fed him those shots. It had more to do with his hand-eye coordination and how the bowlers gave him the length to hit. Trent Bolt, let me see Sunil Narine last more than 5-6 balls against Trent Bolt. Trent Bolt will induce the edge. He'll put a wide slip. He'll get him out. Yesterday, it was shocking to my mind that Sunil Narine even got to 47 runs because he's not had any batting form for a long, long time. Of his last 7 innings before that, he had 3 ducks. So while we can praise the tactic to send Narine, while we can praise him, that was about 47 runs more than I personally expected. It was how poor, again, I'm stressing on how poor RCB's bowling was. दुनिया को पता है, यदि मैं अपनी वीकेंड टीम को कैप्टन कर रहा होता और सामने सुनील नारायण होता, I would instruct my pacers के बॉल को पटको एक बार, फिर फुल दो। सुनील नारायण फुल गेम को नहीं खेल पाते, एक दो शॉट मारेंगे मिड ऑफ के ऊपर से, बट द बॉल दैट मूव्स ही हैज अ बिगर चांस। और आप देख सकते हैं पिछले कुछ सीजंस वो बोल्ड होते हैं। आरसीबी के पास इतना दिमाग नहीं था कि सुनील नारायण को कैसे बॉलिंग करनी चाहिए। दैट्स व्हाई हैट्स ऑफ टू नारायण, fantastic cameo, and Phil Salt, and the way that they took the game out of the equation. 6.3 overs, they had some 85 on the board. That's how you bat at the Chinnaswamy. That's how you bat in the power play, not the way that Virat Kohli and du Plessis batted. Kerry saying, love you, Jamie. Love you too, my friend. Letting go most successful IPL bowler usually is RCB's second biggest mistake. सही बात है. First one is First one is still buying the franchise. Comment of the day, Sushant. Virat Kohli team selection and auction. Are you surprised? Of course. It's easy to blame Virat, but RCB real concern is other batting doing nothing. Bowling doesn't exist. Again, bilkul, bilkul. But Priyanshu, overall, I firmly believe that Virat Kohli has had a hand in every single auction. It's impossible that the player on whom the franchise revolves, you're telling me he has no say when he was captain for 10 years in picking the players? Of course. More than Virat Kohli, more than poor bowling, more than drop catches, more than poor Indian core, more than misfiring overseas players. It is the way that RCB go about putting together teams, which is why they're so unsuccessful. If Virat retires, RCB should close. Shouldn't they? They will close. आरसीबी को वैसे छह नहीं छह नहीं पता नहीं क्या कह रहे हो सिराज को कल्चर आरसीबी कल्चर ने खराब कर दिया after his rise he'll form other teams. Yeah, I think at the mega auction he probably will go to a different team. Maxwell रोहित को आउट किया था वर्ल्ड कप में किया था बिल्कुल किया था but again he's a part-time bowler. How can a franchise, tell me, have you ever seen a franchise pick Glenn Maxwell as their number one spinner? कोई भी franchise देख लो सबके पास एक स्पेशलिस्ट स्पिनर है या इनका स्पेशलिस्ट स्पिनर एक पार्ट टाइमर है. Which team has impressed you so far? According to me, RR again, teams which I predicted to be top 4 teams. I'm not going to say they impressed me because I was already impressed enough. So for me, CSK, RR, LSG, and SRH are my top 4 teams. Beyond that, the team that has impressed me is KKR. I didn't see them winning 2 out of 2. So for me, it's KKR. Your thoughts on Mayank Duggar bowling? He's a good domestic performer, Ravi Shankar. But is Mayank Duggar in the league of a Chahal, a Zampa, Hasaranga, 3 bowlers they released? Look at the titles. Where did Piyush Chawla become so successful? He won 2 titles with KKR. And I think he's the 3rd most successful spinner in the history of the IPL. Chahal. Okay, Chahal is not won titles with RCB, but he's a world-class bowler. How can a Maxwell and a Mayank Duggar and a Karan Sharma be expected to win you matches? अच्छे bowler हैं, एक आध wicket लेंगे, पर ये world-class bowler spinners नहीं है. Jamie, CSK, RSH looks like the 3 qualifiers. Yes, and those 3 are 3 of my teams that I mentioned before the tournament started. विराट ने again जिसके अच्छी bowling किया उसको ले लेता है. बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो. What are they going to talk about Faf? Heard Maxwell managed the field last night. Is he the next skipper then? I mean, the camera was panning to Virat Kohli after every ball. I think I saw Faf du Plessis on screen twice yesterday. So clearly it's more than Maxwell. It's Virat Kohli calling the shots. Sunil Narine, weakest point is bouncer and short bowling, but no one bowler bowled 1 short. No, they did. They bowled short balls. 1 he top edge and 2 he nailed. That is the Sunil Narine is far more. Look at what he does. Look at 16-17 when Gautam Gambhir began to open with him. He scored majority of his runs swatting short balls. Sunil Narine has very little problem against the kind of short balls we see in the IPL. His problem is when the ball is pitched up because his front foot doesn't move. You give him length, he'll move away. You pitch the ball full, he's a plum candidate for LBW, and majority of his dismissals end up being bowled. Sunil Narine has no problem against short pitch bowling because in the power play, most short pitch balls go over the keeper or into no man's land. So you've got it all wrong, Ravi Shankar. His weakness is when you pitch it up because his feet don't move. He stands and drives like Marcus Trescothick, which is why he's got a better chance of being nicked off or bowled. आरसीबी वाले सिर्फ अपना पानी बेचने आते हैं और गेम की कोई प्रायोरिटी नहीं है. हार्श नारायण की बैटिंग देख के लगता है कि वो गोल्फ खेल रहा है. वही वो गोल्फ प्लेयर ही है. वो मस्त मौला है वो. Patidar looks like he forgot batting. I would not. I mean, I feel really bad for him, but I would drop Patidar for the next match. He's not doing anything for this team. What do you think? Who picks RCB team auction? Virat Kohli himself. I think I've already discussed this at length in this live stream. क्या लगता है कल गंभीर ने कोहली के साथ फ्रेंडली वो तो I've already mentioned it. What a act, like Sunil Gavaskar sir said. Fast be like मुझे चिपॉक जाना है यार. I was shocked कि 3 साल पहले Chennai didn't bid more than 6-7 crores. Faf du Plessis, he should have stayed at CSK, but yeah, one of the blunders of that auction. Jamie, आप विराट के अगेंस्ट क्यों हर बार एजेंडा करते हो? आपने शायद ये लाइव स्ट्रीम की शुरुआत में आपने मेरी बात नहीं सुनी. ये कोई WW इवेंट नहीं है 1 versus 1. अगर होता तो नहीं, you missed my point. Most people on this live stream were going against Virat Kohli's strike rate. I have not defended him, but I've said कि विराट कोहली जब हर मैच में दूसरा बंदा कोई रन नहीं मार रहा है टॉप 4 में से, और विराट कोहली की स्ट्राइक रेट देखिए 141, दैट्स अबाउट 6-7 डिजिट्स हायर देन ही नॉर्मली बैट्स। मेरे पास कोई एजेंडा नहीं है, जो मैं चाहता हूं कहना वो मैं कहता हूं, मैं बाकी मीडिया वाले की तरह नहीं हूं जो किसी की सिफारिश करता हूं। विराट कोहली की बैटिंग इस आईपीएल सीजन में दिक्कत नहीं है आरसीबी को, आई विल स्टैंड बाय दिस। जब आपके बड़े प्लेयर्स रन नहीं मार रहे हैं, जब विराट कोहली 77 83 मार रहे हैं, स्ट्राइक रेट पिछले 2 साल से ज्यादा है, you have to stand up and say, boss, this is good batting, this is batting that he hopes will get him into the T20 World Cup. The point is the overall, जितना मैं जान चुका हूं, मैं भी बैंगलोर में 5 साल रहा, जर्नलिस्ट रहा, हर हफ्ते जाता था चिन्ना स्वामी स्टेडियम, जो मैंने सुना है देखा है, विराट कोहली का जो हाथ है ओवरऑल आरसीबी को चलाने में और गाइड करने में, वो एक बहुत बड़ी कमजोरी रही उन 10 सालों में जब विराट कोहली कप्तान थे। इंडिविजुअली बहुत चले विराट कोहली, लेकिन ओवरऑल द सिलेक्शन, स्क्वाड सिलेक्शन, द चॉइस ऑफ बॉलर्स, इसके पीछे विराट कोहली का हाथ है। ये मैं तो मानता हूं, क्योंकि मैं देख चुका हूं, सुन चुका हूं। बाकी आप लोग मेरी बात ना माने ना माने, इस बात में मुझे कोई शक नहीं कि ओवरऑल आरसीबी की जो एक अंडर परफॉर्मिंग कारण है, विराट कोहली की बैटिंग के कारण आरसीबी अंडर परफॉर्म नहीं करती है, उनकी सिलेक्शन के कारण है ये। आरसीबी तो वैसे भी जीतने के लायक खेलते हैं ना, वो तो दिल जीतने के लिए खेलते हैं ना लोल। पता नहीं कितने दिल जीतोगे, ट्रॉफी कब जीतोगे भाई। जे भाई, डिड यू नोटिस विराट रन yesterday? He survived despite a directed, I mean, विराट कोहली, what have you seen the guy's fitness? मतलब मैंने परसों के शो में कहा था, फाफ डुप्लेसी और विराट कोहली जब मैदान पे उतरते हैं चेस या पारी शुरू करने में, इनसे दो बेटर रनर्स, इनसे दो फिट ओपनर्स, जो एक मेरे ख्याल से 35 का है, एक एक कम से कम 40 का होगा फाफ डुप्लेसी, देयर इज नो फिटर प्लेयर। बहुत बार कह चुका हूं, जब विराट कोहली अंतरराष्ट्रीय क्रिकेट से रिटायरमेंट लेंगे, मोर देन रन्स, मोर देन रिकॉर्ड्स, मोर देन स्टैट्स, विराट कोहली का इस नाचीज की राय में लेगेसी ये रहेगा, फिटनेस। आपको याद है इंडियन फिटनेस क्या होती थी विराट कोहली के आने से पहले? इक्के तुक्के प्लेयर्स थे, विराट कोहली ने फिटनेस को यहां रखा। आपको देश के लिए खेलना है, आपको मेरी टीम में खेलना है, आपको फिटनेस पे ध्यान करना पड़ेगा। द फिटेस्ट इंडियन टीम केम अंडर विराट कोहली's कैप्टनसी। दैट मैन चेंज हिज डाइट, change his lifestyle. The reason he's still doing some amazing things on the cricket field, look at his fielding, look at his batting, it's because fitness. So the way he runs, I mean, there are younger players who wouldn't have survived that. That is how good Virat Kohli's fitness is. IPL ने धोनी वर्सेस वीके गुरुवार स्टूडेंट स्टार्ट किया है, तो अगर टॉक्सिसिटी आया है तो कितना गलती है। मैं बहुत बार कह चुका हूं अपने चैनल पर, द वर्स्ट थिंग टू हैपन टू इंडियन क्रिकेट is social media and the Kohlians versus the Viratians. ये जो गंद, जो गाली गलौज ये लोग देते हैं, it's the worst thing to happen. जेमी जी, 140 कोई कम नहीं है स्ट्राइक रेट, ड्यू के वजह से हारे हम, 1/2 मैच को देना था पावर प्ले में। ड्यू तो मैंने कल कुछ देखा नहीं। द मेन प्रॉब्लम वाज you ended up 25-30 runs short and your bowling is crap. That's why you lost. ये ऑल अबाउट इंग्लैंड वाले ना परफॉर्मेंस देते हैं, बीच में छोड़ के चले जाते हैं, फिर टीम इनके पीछे जाती है, इनसे लॉयल तो न्यूजीलैंड ऐसे मशीन प्लेयर्स होते हैं। बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो। आई वुड नॉट डिसएग्री एट ऑल। योर थॉट्स ऑन गौतम गंभीर स्टेटमेंट अबाउट आरसीबी? 100% ट्रू। ऑस्ट्रेलिया वाले आईपीएल में गार्डन में घूमने आए। दैट गंभीर स्टेटमेंट व्हेन ही सेड ना, ये लोग ऐसे कूदते हैं, सेलिब्रेट करते हैं जैसे ट्रॉफी जीते हैं। कहां जीते हैं? इट्स लाइक द ऋषभ पंत एड विद प्रीति जिंटा व्हेन ही सेज, अबे पंजाब कब जीता? गौतम गंभीर ने सही बात कहा, आरसीबी वाले ऐसे कूदते हैं फील्ड पे। कल देखा 6-7 ओवर के अंदर स्कोर 90 तक पहुंचने वाला है, मयांक डागर ने पहले विकेट लिया और विराट कोहली और ये लोग ऐसे कूद रहे हैं जैसे ट्रॉफी जीते हैं। विद दैट बॉलिंग आई वुड जस्ट बी अ लिटिल बिट मोर humble on the field. So I agree with Gautam Gambhir. ये लोग ऐसे घूमते हैं फील्ड पर चौड़े होके जैसे ट्रॉफी जीते हैं। एक बार नहीं जीते हैं, गौतम गंभीर ने 2 बार जिताया ट्रॉफी। इस आईपीएल में केवल संडे को 2 मैचेस है। अगर सैटरडे को 2 मैच होते तो जल्दी खत्म हो जाता और टी20 वर्ल्ड कप के लिए पहले ज्यादा टाइम जाता। हाँ, लेकिन बीसीसीआई ऐसे नहीं सोचती भाई। फाफ एंड मैक्सवेल लुक्स लाइक देयर गेम आर डन। यप, आई एग्री। ओडीआई क्रिकेट कम होने के कारण अब सचिन का रिकॉर्ड अनब्रेकेबल है। हाँ, सही बात है। आई थिंक डीके को कैप्टन बनाना चाहिए। डीके को नहीं 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 डीके नहीं भाई, ही इज ऑन हिज लास्ट सीजन। लेट दैट गाय गो आउट एंड ट्राई एंड गिव हिज फैंस मोर रीजन टू to celebrate. Anyways, guys, good fun. A lot of animated, passionate comments today. आपस में हमने कुछ बहस करी. I like these kind of things where it's we both agree, disagree. आप लोग सवाल करते हो, मैं जवाब देता हूँ. आप लोग दोबारा मुझ पे चढ़ जाते हो. I like this. It shouldn't be all like मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आप लोग कह रहे हैं. हाँ, it's good to have a healthy debate. I might be wrong, you might be wrong, but the point is इस माध्यम से आप और मैं इस स्क्रीन के थ्रू जुड़कर बातें कर सकते हैं. You guys have a great Saturday. मैं आपसे कल मिलूंगा. आज का मैच हम रिकैप करेंगे और कल के बारे में थोड़े मैच. कल डबल हेडर डे. हैव अ ग्रेट सैटरडे. लव यू ऑल. जय हिंद.